Good morning, family of St. John's. I am holding a picture of our family dog. Ruby is her name. Ruby is a golden retriever and she's 14 years old. And she just loves my wife, Betsy. Oh, she follows Betsy all around our home, outside and inside, every room she goes. Ruby just fully depends on Bets. She trusts Bets with her life, and she's always there for Betsy. Uh, and that reminds me of our relationship with our God, for we are to fully trust our God, fully depend on our God in every way, each day, no matter what's happening, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're to depend on God. And there's a little activity we do with kids when we want to teach them about trusting and depending on God to always be there for us, just like Ruby depends on Betsy to always be there for her. And that activity involves taking a sheet of paper or on a blackboard uh, and writing the word dog. Yeah. And then having kids spell out each of the letters in the word dog. And when they do that, they'll spell depend on God. Of course, depend on God. That's what we're called to do. That's how we are to live our lives, just as Ruby lives her life, depending on Betsy. We are to depend on our God during the good times, the bad times, and all the in between times of our lives. And certainly during this time of the coronavirus, when we are separated from loved ones, from one another as the family of God. And we need to know that no matter how long we have to remain so, still our good and gracious God is always there for us. We can depend on God. God's mercy, forgiveness, and love is ever present with us. And that's why Paul could say we need to be people of faith. We walk by faith, not by sight. Paul reminded us in the second letter to the Christians of the early church in Corinth in chapter 5, verse 7. Or as Jesus himself said when he appeared to his disciples after he had risen from the dead in the Gospel of John, chapter 20, verse 29, he appeared to Thomas and said, Thomas, blessed are those who have not seen but believe. That's all of us. In the 21st century, we have not seen the Lord, but we believe. We are called, as Paul said, to walk by faith, not by sight. And so, my friends, just as Ruby fully depends on my wife Betsy, we are to fully depend on our good and gracious God each and every day of our lives. Have a great week. God's blessing on you all. Amen.